Hello and welcome to Sega News Bits. I'm your host George, and with me is my partner in crime, Barry.
I see.
And today we're going to be talking about seeing things, especially Shenmue III things. The first thing they showed off at E3, and we're going to save the bad news for last because I know you guys love staying for that stuff when we start getting a little angry. But the first thing is the E3 trailer, which finally showed a presentation with facial animations. This is obviously still a work in progress. I don't know why they keep on doing this since it was supposed to come out in August, I think, and then they delayed it till November, but we're still not getting finalized footage, or at least they're not admitting to this being finalized. But here's the E3 trailer. What do you think about it and the, I guess, setup for the story?
It looks fine.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was more surprised, when we watched the other trailers that kind of ragged on it. This time I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like the concept of, like, Ryu rescuing these villages. It reminds me of, like, Seven Samurai, where, they're gathering the samurai to save the rice villages and stuff. But now you're just one man. I like that. I thought the music was well done and really pumped you up into it. But they are reusing a lot of the same footage, which kind of, it's kind of scaring me that maybe the whole game is just this little village and we're not really going to move forward in the story at all.
Right. Yeah, if I remember, I think there's like 3 villages, maybe. I'm trying to remember. But, I think what's annoying me with the marketing behind this is they're really not playing up the connection to the first 2 games, and I'm not asking for clips or anything, but they really should kick off a trailer with that scene in the cave, because I feel like that's what we all know and remember. And when we see that, and even when people who casually, I guess you're not that casual if you completed Shenmue 2, but you at least remember that, and you see that, and you go, oh, wow, that really gets you jazzed. Instead, it's just like Ryo catching little girls off ladders and, like, fighting, like, Dick Tracy villains,
Yeah, and we still don't know more about the story. We just know about the village. This is something they've already teased in the past. And the next big, I guess, footage we saw was the IGN Japan. They did 13 whole minutes, mostly focusing on minigames. This is the most we've actually seen of the game actually being played. They've kind of kept it secret for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
This is they have a turtle race, which is kind of a callback to the duck racing. Did they have turtle racing? No, right? It was just ducks.
No, just ducks.
And then they have a dice game. They have the Lucky Hit, and what else did they have? They let you buy those little machine toys, capsule toys. So, what is your opinion on, I guess, this gameplay? They're really going basically the original. It looks exactly like the original. I mean, there's no map. They really did not take any new inspiration from new open world games. What do you think about that?
I think it looks fine. I guess my only complaint is that it seems like all the mini games were in one area. Maybe this is just for demo purposes, but I like it more where they're kind of sprinkled about and you're surprised when you see some dude sitting there with a dice game. This one's more like a farmer's market, but it's all mini games. And it just, I don't know, I feel like I'm nitpicking, but it just seems strange that it's like nobody's there enjoying the games besides Ryo. Like, why are these people making a living sitting out in the middle of nowhere with turtle races? And I also noticed the dialogue is really awkward. Like, he's like, how would you like to check out a game of Lucky Hit? Maybe you can check out my ass later. I forgot what the lady said, but she says something like that. And it's just
Exactly.
Yeah, and, but no, I mean, it looks like Shenmue. It looks like it plays like Shenmue. The button prompts don't make the same noises, which kind of bothers me. But it does do that when you get something.
I agree with you 100%. It is weird that they haven't showed, first of all, the combat. They didn't show any of the city, like, a lot of the things with the first originals, you go into stores, you go look at the arcades, they haven't showed any of that. They haven't showed you running around in a big city. I just assumed that. Okay, so when you play the sequel, Shenmue, I mean, I know people were impressed when it came out, but man, you could really tell that game was taxing the Dreamcast. Like, there's some areas that were really low resolution, So now that we have a PS4, you would think that they would just make bigger cities, because you could basically make a city 6 times the first or Shenmue 2, and it should just work just fine on it.
Yeah,
because of all the power.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm surprised that they haven't showed anything like that. That would have been the most impressive part because of all the new power.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of copying and pasting, in my opinion. So in the end of the day, like a lot of these open world games, like Spider-Man, it's just for you to move around in.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I mean, it sounds like we're complaining here, but really we're just, we are complaining, but I don't think it's coming from anywhere like of malice. It's not like we hate the game or anything. It's just there's some things here that are just kind of strange or interesting, and it's fun pointing them out and talking about them. So I just want people to chill out. Chill out!
This is how much we don't hate it, because we're going to be buying this right here, where Limited Run Games has announced a collector's edition for Shenmue 3 for the PS4 and PC, which is going to include the game, a Phoenix/Dragon mirror, 5 clothing patches from within the game, a sticker art from the game, and a light box style lamp. No pricing, coming in November, and it's going to be limited to 4,000 units on PS4 and 1,000 units on PC. So what do you think about them basically doing another collector's, or doing an actual collector's edition after we've already bought the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter version?
I don't like how limited it is, and I know that sounds stupid with limited run games, but let me explain why. So in the past few days, I've been seeing links from people in the UK, and they're like, oh, it's up on Game, oh, it's up on Amazon UK, and it's up for pre-order right now, like the exact same edition on all these multiple stores. There's absolutely no way that the UK, Europe, and all of Europe has like 3 or 4 different online stores with open pre-orders right now, and they're limited to 5,000. So I'm really wondering if this is a European edition that Limited Run Games had very little involvement in, or created for the European market, and they were like, well, let's give Americans 5,000. It's kind of bothering me, actually. Like, I wish this thing was showing up on Amazon.com. Like, I want to get this, but I don't understand why the Limited Run Games thing that's 5,000 copies in America is all over the place in the UK on their stores. It's kind of annoying.
Maybe they could have had a ultra rare version where it's only 1,000 each, but it comes all signed with Yu Suzuki's signature. Would you buy that?
I probably wouldn't, because I'm getting his signature on the Dreamcast book coming out.
Okay.
But I mean, if the price was right, I think.
How much do you think this is going to cost?
I think it's not much, actually. I was comparing the pound and euro conversions. It looked like it was 80 or 90. That's not bad.
Especially for the lamp. I might just pick it up because, I mean, it's easier to ship to my house from Limited Run Games, and they actually do really well, really good shipping. So I'm not complaining. They're really good at what they do. I mean, people complain about the limitedness of all their stuff, but at the end of the day, they ship you a product that's well produced.
Mm-hmm. And they keep like extras of certain things. So like I got Double Switch and it was smashed. The box was smashed. And I was like, hey, everything inside is fine. I'm going to open it anyway. Can you just send me a new box? And they were like, yeah, sure. So they're cool.
The next big news that pissed a lot of people off, and I know you don't have much of an opinion on it because you're a console gamer, but Shenmue 3 that has announced that the PC version is going to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store. And this is their message they gave out backers originally. They've actually updated it. So the PC gaming show just wrapped up with big news for Shenmue 3. The new trailer has unveiled, and it was announced that Shenmue 3 for PC will be Epic Game Store exclusive. And then later that day, they came out and said, today in the morning, we want to make sure that the backers are aware that we are listening to their concerns. We kindly ask all our fans to have some patience. We are currently at E3 demoing the game and need to get back to our respective offices and assess the situation, and together find a way to justify the trust you placed in us. So, if you guys didn't know, when the game was announced, or at least this is what people have been telling me, I swear to God I thought it said Steam when I first backed it, but apparently it said PC game, and then after it was funded, they did a survey where they asked people, what do you want to see the key? Where do you want the key? And everybody said Steam, obviously. And then now they have announced Epic Store exclusivity. So that the rumor is that Epic Store is going up to publishers and telling them, if you make it exclusive to our store, we guarantee you 500,000 pre-orders or something like that, some crazy amount of number. And if you don't make it, they'll pay you the copies you didn't sell. So a lot of publishers are jumping ship and just publishing on Epic Game Store because you can't fail at this point.
Interesting.
And so, what do you think about this? And what do you think about, I guess, people complaining that they don't want it on Epic's Game Store, and a lot of backers have been wanting their money back?
I'm outraged, George, and I've been outraged since day one. No,
okay, I didn't know.
I do think what I think they need to do is give the Steam codes to the people who they promised Steam codes to. Was the game up for pre-order on Steam?
I don't think it was at all.
No.
I don't remember it being up.
No, so I'm not bothered so much by that. I just think it's kind of shitty that they would promise a Steam code to people and then they're like, oh, it's changing. What they need to do is give people Steam codes, delay the Steam launch for a window of time, do the Epic thing, give people Epic codes if they want it, and just like suck it up and be like, we screwed up. I really like the email they sent out though, that second one, because it was just kind of like, we're at E3 having fun. I don't know why you guys are being so mean to us. God.
And that kind of shows you the whole team thing. Like, to be honest with you, out of all the Kickstarters I've backed, this has been the one with the least amount of information. And I know a lot of people have been telling me that, like, this is kind of par of the course with Kickstarter. They somehow don't have enough time to update you ever whenever you get money.
Yeah.
But you've also...
getting the game.
Yeah, well, at least we're getting the game. That's actually
yeah,
what I'm
unlike
surprised
Elysian
about.
Shadows.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. But, so yeah, I think I don't like Epic Game Store. I'd rather have it on Steam. And I agree with you. The best way to assess the situation is ask backers to go into a link and give them, like, I don't know, maybe until release date to change their platform. But
Yeah.
everybody should just be Epic Game Store. Like, if you don't do anything and you just sit, you're going to get the code for Epic Game Store. But if you go and you fill out the little questionnaire thing to change it, because I mean, I don't think they should change every single one just because a few people complained. If you complained enough, you should be able to fill out a questionnaire thing or whatever to change it.
Totally.
But that's our opinion on Shenmue 3. What do you guys think about the game coming out this November? Are you guys going to get the limited run games version of the game? Did you guys back it? What do you guys think about the gameplay? And are you ready to get sweaty? See you guys next week.